All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure to be back.
You know me, I love a good mystery.
Oh.
And the one we're diving into today, it's a real head-scratcher. It's got all the makings of a sci-fi plot, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about an entire village in France that just fell asleep all at once.
Yeah, the poisoned village of Bancourt.
Bancourt. That's it. We've got some excerpts about it, and let me tell you, it's wild.
Buckle up, folks. This one's going to get weird.
So picture this. You wake up one morning, totally normal day, right? But everyone around you is just out like a light. Family, friends, the mailman, even the dog.
Spooky, right?
Total blackout. And that's exactly what happened in Bancourt back in 1951. To this day, nobody knows exactly why.
A real-life mystery.
All right, so let's set the scene a little. Bancourt, France, August 15th, 1951. A small, quiet village, just another day in the summer. People are going about their business. Kids are playing. Folks are having their morning coffee.
Normal, everyday stuff.
Exactly. But then, all of a sudden, bam, everyone just collapses.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about a few folks getting sick. This was everyone. All 233 people living in Bancourt.
Single? One.
It's like someone just hit the pause button on the whole village. There are accounts of breakfast tables half set, coffee still steaming, clothes hanging out to dry.
Life just stopped.
It's eerie, right? And it took a while for anyone outside of Bancourt to even realize something was wrong.
I mean, can you imagine being the first outsider to stumble upon this? A whole town, completely silent.
I can't even imagine. What a shock. So, naturally, the authorities are called in, and they're immediately stumped. Gas leak, mass poisoning, some kind of strange virus.
They were running every test they could think of, trying to figure out what in the world can knock out a whole town. No one had ever seen anything like it.
And the villagers are out cold for 3 full days. Then, just as suddenly as they fell asleep, they start waking up.
You'd think that'd be the good news, right? Everyone's all right.
Right. Mystery solved.
Not so fast. Here's the twist. None of them remember anything. A total blank. The hours before they fell asleep. Gone. Those 3 days unconscious. Poof. No recollection whatsoever.
Okay, so that's just adding another layer of weird to this whole thing. What could possibly explain that?
Well, the medical examinations did turn up something interesting. They found traces of an unknown compound in the villagers' blood, but they could never identify it.
So this mystery compound, could that be the key to the whole thing? The cause of the sleeping sickness?
It's definitely a major piece of the puzzle, but without knowing what it was or where it came from, it only deepens the mystery.
Okay, so let's talk theories. What are some of the explanations that have been put forward for this whole sleeping village phenomenon?
Well, there's one that always comes up in cases like this. Mass psychogenic illness. Some folks call it mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria, huh? Isn't that when people kind of freak out and start showing symptoms even if there's no physical cause?
Exactly. It's like a powerful shared delusion, but it manifests in real physical symptoms. And, there have been documented cases, though rarely on this scale.
But the whole village,
Yeah.
everyone, at the exact same time, it seems a little far-fetched, doesn't it?
I get what you're saying. It's definitely hard to wrap your head around. But the amnesia after the event, that does line up with certain forms of psychogenic fugue, which is a type of dissociative disorder.
Interesting. So it could be a mental thing then. But then what about that unknown compound in their blood? That's got to be a physical cause, right?
Yeah, that piece doesn't quite fit with a purely psychological explanation. Another theory that's been tossed around is an environmental toxin. There was a factory near Bancourt.
Right, a factory. So maybe some sort of accidental chemical leak?
Possibly. It could explain both the compound and the sleep, especially if it was something that dissipated quickly or that they didn't have the technology to detect back then.
That makes sense. But you'd think there would be some kind of trace, some evidence of the toxin, wouldn't you?
You think so? But hey, maybe it was something completely new, something science hadn't encountered before.
Okay, gotta ask the tough question here. Did anyone consider, foul play, deliberate poisoning or something? Were there any political tensions or anything going on at the time that could point in that direction?
Of course the authorities looked into that. They had to. But they never found any evidence to support that angle. No suspicious individuals, no political motives, no group claiming responsibility, nothing.
So after all the investigations, all the theories, we're left with a big old question mark.
That's right. An entire village falls asleep for 3 days, wakes up with no memory, and we still don't know why.
It's a wild thought, isn't it? Just how much we still don't know about the world. The Bancourt incident is a reminder that there are still mysteries out there that science can't fully explain.
It certainly is. And it makes you wonder, what if something like that happened today in our town?
Right. With all our technology and advancements, would we be able to crack the case? Or would we be just as baffled as they were back in 51?
Chilling thought, right?
It really is. Makes you think twice about getting a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our deep dive into the sleeping village of Bancourt. We'll be back soon with another mystery, another fascinating topic.
See you then.
Until then, sweet dreams, everyone. And maybe, just maybe, keep a nightlight on.
You never know.
You never know.